see all of you guys here. Yes, I am live right now from the hurricane. You are actually seeing right now. This is Hurricane Milton. Let me switch my camera for you guys so you guys can see. This is Hurricane Milton that we can see right now, as you guys can see. And we're going to go to the front of the apartment right now, just so you guys can see exactly what's going on. We had, had to take it off Wi-Fi just so that it'll stay connected. But as you guys can see, I can't even get very close to the entrance because that's how bad it is. So as you guys can see, this is just a Cat 3, maybe Cat 2, and it was a Cat 5 when it was out at sea in the Gulf. So this is exactly what a lot of people just don't really see who aren't in this part of the United States. And look, this is, what people from Hurricane Helene that went through. And by the way, this isn't, the eye isn't supposed to be over us or near us until about 3. So we're about 2.5 hours away from the strongest part of the storm being here. This is not the strongest part of the storm. And so a lot of people just do not get to see this. And so if I stood outside, because look, I'm in the hallway right here, right? See, I'm in the hallway. If I actually stood outside, it'd be hard for me to stand. But fortunately, I have this. But I don't recommend a lot of people to do this. But, because I have this strong hallway, I'm able to do it. And so we had a flash flood warning here for Orange County. Let me walk back over to this area. In this area. And I went to sleep at 10. I just woke up. My alarm didn't go off, thankfully. I woke up. But I'm kind of underneath here. This is the street view. Thank goodness we have good drainage in this area. Shout out to the people who actually fixed it. And we still have power, by the way. I am shocked. I thought our power would have went out like an hour or two ago. But we still have it. So shout out to OUC. I guess I can give you guys a shout out for one thing. Orlando Utilities Commission. But yes, as you guys can see, that's what's going on. Shout out to Lauren, says, hey JV, good to see you. Doug says, stay safe, man. I am. I'm trying to do the best I can. ACAB includes ICE and Border Patrol, says, I've been thinking of you all day. Thank you very much. That's very sweet of you. Catterell says, this is the front end. Yes, that is the front end of the storm. Yes, Indy left. If you guys have not, you guys can go follow Indy on all his socials as well as his YouTube channel. Indy Left does great work. You got all the peeps over there at Indy Left. Make sure to give them a peep. Ooh, Lord. Oh my gosh. If you guys can actually see this live, the thing is, like, I'm not going anywhere further out than this because I'm in pajama pants, some house shoes, and a Kindness t-shirt. I am not that crazy that I'm going out in the middle of this. But this is crazy. Oh, Don't, Milton, don't you dare. Don't you dare. Don't you mess up this phone. Yeah. This is, oh my God. Yeah, man. So when people, and just imagine, this is just a taste of what people who were in Tampa, people who were in Fort Myers, people who were in Sarasota are getting. This is just a taste of it, right? This isn't just some thunderstorm. I don't think this camera actually really does it justice. And this is a pretty good camera. But this does not do it justice as to what is actually going on out here. There's debris already flying right now on the ground in many different areas. I'm hearing like a whistling sound right now. As long as I don't hear a train sound, we okay. If you start to hear a train sound, then that's when you get your butt inside and you get into the most interior part of your house. Okay. Just so that you guys are aware. But yeah, you guys just, it's like this just does not give you guys the holy shit. You guys do not get just the full thrust of this. But this is a lot, man. Let me take a look through the rest of the chat. Gotta wipe my phone off. Make sure I don't close this thing down. Sorry, guys. Okay. So let me see. Catcherell says you'll be all right. Thank you. Yeah. Relocate with says stay safe. I'm doing that. KD Lewis of the RBN Orlando chapter says, glad to see you. Good, sir. Good so far. Yeah. Yeah, I'm shocked, bro. We still have power. I am surprised. Oh my goodness. Lauren says, are you going to be able to leave if necessary? No. You cannot leave. In fact, police would stop you if they saw you out here. In fact, police aren't even out here to really stop you, to be honest with you, because they're not going to be out in winds like this and risk their own lives. So if you get out here, you are on your own. If something bad happens to you, good luck. They are not coming for you until the winds die down. That includes firefighters, ambulance, any type of first responders. If you leave your house in weather like this, you're done. You're done. You don't, and if something bad happens to you, they're not picking you up until the winds die down. 911 is going to be like, you should have came out. That's how bad it is. Yeah. I mean, any questions? So, yeah, man, it's wild, man. Yeah, it's sheeting. And it's going to get worse. That's the crazy part. It is going to get worse. Yeah, so let me give you guys the view. So, making sure. All right. Ooh. All right, so make sure this light's on. There we go. All right. So this is from the porch. I got the porch light on. Yeah. It's not that bright, but this is from the porch. So thankfully, I have everything over me. Um, but yeah, so it's pretty bad. Of course, there's some slight debris that's falling, but not a huge amount that I can see so far. I mean, these trees are relatively young. Um, they have been up for, I'd say, the last 7 years or so when these apartment buildings were built. So not that bad. The areas where there's older growth, about a block away, those are the trees that I'm worried about. And on top of it, we've been having a ton of rain as well. A ton of rain that has also been coming down over the last couple days. So because of trees are more likely to fall over uh, with the winds because the ground is so saturated. Yes, thank you, Indy. Yes, please, if you can, hit the like. Uh, thank you so much, Indy. Let's see. Ooh. Yeah, it's kind of hard to stay dry. You know what? If I really wanted to stay dry, I would have gotten Ben Shapiro to come over. Ben Shapiro, he should have came and stood in this storm. He would have kept this storm dry. You know what I'm saying? Doug Jaffe said, hopefully no one's expected to going into work like this. Look, I'll tell you what, these corporations, they would be like, hey, so you coming into work today? Oh, that's okay. We'll pay you time and a half while you're out here in the middle of a hurricane. But I just want to also give some thoughts and commentary on the people who are always forgotten. The inmates that are in prison right now, that are in areas that need to be evacuated, are enduring much more than this and flash floods. What about them? What about the people in prison and in jails? What about the people who are disabled, who needed to evacuate but couldn't because they don't have the means to do so financially, right? What about the people who are unhoused? I saw homeless people still out in the street hours ago. What about them, right? People say, well, they can go into shelters. And I'm like, can they all fit? Now, here's my thing. If all the people who are homeless can all fit in shelters during a hurricane, then that means you always could have housed them. You always could have. You just didn't want to. Or we could just put them in housing, and that could have been it. But no. Only when situations like this happen, then it's like, oh, well, we could house them. Because we don't want them to be out there, because we don't want our first responders to have to go out there to risk their lives to save them. Well, what about the rest of the elements? What about when it gets too hot? Or what about when it gets too cold? Or just having housing, period. Also, for instance, I just got my food stamps today. So why in the world why weren't those of us in the area, just the federal government goes, oh, they're about to have a hurricane, give them the food stamps now. They could just, all the people within that given area, so that we can get all of our supplies early. Why didn't they do that? Some people weren't able to get out and evacuate because they didn't get their paychecks till today, or they're not getting their paychecks till tomorrow, or their paychecks till Friday. Everybody's just paid their rent. So how many people were able to get money to evacuate? Because we just paid our rent so that we can still have a place to stay by the time the hurricane comes and goes. If we still have a place to stay. How many people paid their mortgage? You know? Is that a police vehicle? Yeah, it's a police vehicle. Yeah. Are they in their car? Maybe. Oh well. So yeah. You know, a lot of people don't think about them. So yeah, Catterell. Yeah, I'm not only up off ground level, but these apartments sit up. Actually, let me show you. It's kind of almost like a brownstone type of situation. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Sorry, guys. Trying to reconnect. But they're stairs 5 feet above the street. So, feet above the street. So, and then the street is, I'd say, it's probably 1 to 2 inches of water in the street right now. 1 to 2 inches. It hasn't even hit the top of the curb yet. It's, you know, it has a little bit to go before it hits the top of the curb. Now, it could happen. Very well could. But even if it did, you still have another about 4 feet to go before it hits the top of the steps. So fortunately, we're this high up. And you know, you have to drive up just to get into the apartment complex. But yeah, so that's the fortunate part. We see. Dwayne Vogel, good to see you. Thank you very much. Surfing to the Max, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Andy. I appreciate it. We see. Yeah, that was a crazy question, but I haven't lived in Florida in decades. We used to hunker down annually. Yeah, and the thing is, you could have hunkered down during this, but because of climate change, and I know a lot of people, some people who mostly don't watch this channel, who don't believe in climate change, but it is real. And the thing is, it's like somebody asked me a silly question. They were like, "Oh, you think climate change causes hurricanes?" I said, "No. Climate change increases the frequency and the intensity of these storms." So where back then we would get a whole bunch of thunder, tropical storms and Cat 1s. Now we're seeing more Cat 3s, 4s, and 5s more often, and we're seeing, these greater intense storms. So that's what's going on. And because the warming of the water is causing these storms to have more intensity. We probably would have still had a tropical storm or a Hurricane Milton, but it probably would have been a tropical storm or a hurricane while it was in the Gulf. The strongest it probably would have went to was Cat 2, and it wouldn't have, had as strong of a storm surge behind it. But because of climate change, we had to go up to a Cat 5. That's the highest that you can get on this planet is a Cat 5. And it went there. And then it dropped down to a Cat 4, but then it picked back up to a Cat 5 again. So by the time it got to the coast where the water was a little bit cooler, then it downgraded to a Cat 3, and then it hit. So it hit around Sarasota. So that's why it is so important, right? For people to realize that the intensity and frequency of these storms is what makes it so bad. And so we just got over Hurricane Helene. Now, granted, we really didn't have much In Orlando, when it comes to Hurricane Helene, we just got, a few of the outer bands. It was a little bit of wind. It wasn't even like this. And so when it comes to storms like Hurricane Helene, which was massive, Hurricane Helene was like 2.5 times the size of a Hurricane Katrina. Milton is bigger than Helene, right? And so and right now we're in a relatively calm part. It's about to get heavier. And so I'm expecting the power to go out. If it hasn't gone out now, it can go out really any minute. But fingers crossed. Look, cross your fingers, cross your toes, cross your arms, cross your eyes, because we need the power to still be on. I would like the power to still be on, but you never know. So yeah. I've only been live for 6 minutes? That's not right. Anyway. Let's see. Inside Out Complex says, do you feel safe where you are? Yes, I do. Let me see. Good to see you guys. Jacqueline says, stay safe. JB and your mom too. She is asleep, thankfully. She's good. Yeah, Indy says Waffle House Index. Yeah, Waffle House is closed. They are done. They are closed. They shut down. They said, we ain't doing this. Look, y'all make y'all chicken waffles at home. We're not doing this today. Cat Terrell says, make sure you put your devices on full charge. You'll lose power later. Yeah, as soon as I'm done with this, I'm not going to be on live very long, but I will put my devices back on charge again. Let's see. Yeah, Jacqueline says it's early morning there. You up with me? That's very sweet. Mary says, I'm praying that your family and neighbors are safe and have minimal damage. Me too. I'm hoping the same. I'm hoping the people who have animals are also, their animals not only are safe, but their animals are calm, because animals know when stuff like this happens. And so yeah, it's a doozy. Thank you very much, Mars. Appreciate it. Lauren says, straight up, and the mates and the people in nursing. Oh yeah, the inmates and the people in nursing homes. There's my alarm for me to get up. Okay, technically I was supposed to get up I was supposed to do the stream at 1, but I decided to do it at 12:30 instead. But yeah, the wind's really coming down through here now. So Dwayne says, I have an answer from my boss. If he wanted me to risk my life to go to work during a natural disaster, he wouldn't hike it. Oh man. Good to see you, CBC voter. Ooh, I felt the bass in that wind. Oh my goodness. Jacqueline says, you think state government would put some coaches and buses to help with the evacuation for the badly affected areas? Look, I'm telling you right now, Jacqueline, I'll be real with you, they did have some, but the thing is, it's like they don't have a lot, right? And those buses fill up quickly. Also, that takes, taxpayer money. I mean, you got to remember, a state is a currency user, not a currency issuer, so they don't have all this money. I mean, the federal government can give them the money for it, but they don't give them, a whole, huge amount. And the question is, even though those people may be able to get on those buses, where do they go? They have to have accommodations. And if they don't have their accommodations, because the shelters, there's only so many of those, so those can fill up quickly. So then what else is there? Hotels. But those people who get the buses, can they get a hotel? and none of that reimbursement BS, because some of us don't have the money to put out in the first place to be reimbursed. We remember a lot of people so many of us pay our paycheck to paycheck. So we just paid our rent. So we don't have the money to even get reimbursed to pay out for these accommodations, right? And so, unfortunately, that's the issue. So a lot of people go, well, you could just go somewhere, and it's like, no. And the problem is, another thing, a lot of people ran out of gas who were in the evacuation zones. This is inland. You guys got to remember, this is inland. This is not on the coast. The coast was worse. It was so much worse, right? Good to see you, Notori. Luke Carlos says, hi from Fort Lauderdale. Ooh, you're getting it right now, too. You still got power, Luke? I hope so. Let me see. CBC Voyager said, get closer to the Wi-Fi. If I did, I wouldn't be able to get this footage. That's the problem. Thank you very much, Cat Joel. Let me see. Desert Mantis says, is it my setup or is JB buffering for you folks? Yeah, because Wi-Fi issue. Yeah. Sorry, guys. Okay, good, Luke. I'm glad. Let me see. Am I that far behind? Yes, I'm still doing smoothies. Let me see. Yeah. Inside Outside Complex says, I pray you stay safe. Social media can be the worst sometimes, but it's great to keep in touch like this and comfort each other when we can. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, Jacqueline. Evacuation is just it's no bueno, And in part of that is because we do not have a good central planning model. Because when you leave central planning to every man and woman for themselves and person for themselves, and you leave it to everybody they have to just buy from these capitalist corporations in order to have what they need, instead of it being a better central planning model, then of course, there's a lot of people who are going to fall by the wayside. There's going to be people who are going to have to go without. Water. Sorry. Then a lot of people are just not going to have enough. And then you have to depend on the kindness of other strangers, and philanthropy, which is something you shouldn't have to do. Not in a country and government where it is the richest in the history of the world. So, but with that being said, I just wanted to share this. I don't want this to be long and drawn out, but it is about to get worse. And I just hope that everybody stays safe in this storm. I have neighbors that are like 2 other floors above me. So they're feeling the raindrops a little bit more than I am. And it is wild. Yeah, it's getting wild out here. I'm like feeling and hearing the bass of the gusts. Like, that's how crazy it is. But yeah, man. So look, you guys, if you guys can just be safe out there. Please make sure, if you have not already, if you are in the area of Central Florida, fill up your bathtubs. with water, to make sure that if in case the water goes out, you guys have water. This is primarily because if you guys got to use the bathroom, you got to flush your toilet. Well, you guys got a bucket of water, and you guys are able to flush your toilet. Um, Also, uh, you know, make sure that take, uh, make sure you take bags, um, of Ziploc bags, fill it like 90% of the way, and fill it with water and have it in your freezer. I hope you guys did stuff like that. If not, do it now if you can, if you still have power. Um, and I hope you have all your devices charged. And I'm not going to risk having my device lower than 95%, which I think it's around that right now. Uh, Something like that. So do not play with this. All right, y'all, because I have to get, I'm going to get going and hope the power stays on a little bit longer. But I think we're okay for now. But look, like I always say, water your plants, water yourselves, leave the world better than you found it. And this, you might as well smoke them if you got them. You might as well drink them if you got them. Because if you ain't got them, enjoy, you know, watch something funny. Just Joy is revolutionary. Because, yeah. Ooh, that's eerie. Dark hallway. I love you guys for watching. You guys have yourself a good one. Hang on. Let me answer this question. Chris, how are you doing with your position in the Stein campaign? Are they good folks to work with? Did anyone call you to check on you seriously? Yeah, they're really good. They've been really kind and checking on me, as well as they are, the job in itself can be stressful, but they have been just very kind. I mean, to be honest with you, I would say probably I would hate to be working for a Democratic Party because they probably would be more demanding. I can see them and the Republicans being more demanding, but that's just me. But yeah, they've been very kind. Thank you very much. So everybody, I'm gonna head out. Oh, Dwayne says if you have Spectrum, they're raising data limits on mobile devices free of charge. Well, I don't have Spectrum mobile, so it is what it is. But thank you. Yeah, so hopefully it's over soon. So yeah, everybody, take care. You guys have yourself a good one. And I'm thinking about going live again in the morning, close to the end of the aftermath, just to see everything. Um, so yeah. All right. Yes, Notori. Peace, love, hair grease, chicken grease, all the grease, baby. Mwah. Forehead kisses to every single one of you. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Deuces, Bruces. Love you.